Marvel Rivals has revealed their plans for the competitive scene in 2026, and I'm actually so impressed. And if you're an aspiring competitive player, or just a more casual viewer of Marvel Rivals content, I think there's a lot in this update that will entice you to dive deeper into the esports side of Marvel Rivals. Now, they've uploaded a video and a blog about this, and I'm going to go through the key points because there is a lot to discuss and it is a bit complicated, so I'm going to lay it out as simple as possible. Now, most importantly, we have an annual prize pool of $3 million up for grabs, but this is actually uncapped, as Marvel Rivals will also introduce team skin bundles with revenue sharing, and that means the prize pool can rise dramatically based on the crowd enthusiasm for these teams, especially if these teams make the effort to promote themselves through content. 2026 will be centered around 2 global LAN tournaments in August and November, with the ability to earn your way into these LAN tournaments through the online MRC series. Aspiring teams can secure their spot in the global finals in November, either winning the Stage 2 playoffs or finishing near the top of the annual league leaderboard, meaning consistent placements or a major pop-off are both viable ways to the grand final. They're also introducing a promotion and relegation system, and this is how you can enter the Pro League as an aspiring team. As you compete in the online MRC during 2026, you'll earn points, and these points will provide you an opportunity to compete for a league spot against the poor performing league teams during the mid-season and grand finals. And from the video, this looks like a top 3 system right now, but we'll see how this shakes out as the seasons progress. And I should note that partnered teams will have a limited amount of protection from this system. Now, very importantly, the Marvel Rivals Championship Season 6 will be the final direct qualifier of the 2025 competitive year, and this will be the last chance to fill any remaining league slots. In reality, this is only applicable to the newly created Pacific region, which is a combination of Oceania and Asia. China is its own server, by the way. And these teams will first compete within their own sub-regions to be the top of the online tournaments, and then come together in the playoffs to determine who is the champion of the new Pacific region. And this is really because both these territories, they have notoriously low player counts, especially in Australia's case. Even in the most popular games, it's hard to populate the competitive servers. Now, here's the juicy part, the details of the money tournaments. The preseason in April determines the initial placement of teams within the brackets, and selected partner teams will share revenue from in-game team-themed content, and this will hopefully create a more sustainable environment to grow this competitive scene long-term. Now, there are currently 12 spots available for partner teams, and this is from all around the world. These are going to be the 12 most clouded, no doubt, and the applications are currently ongoing, with submissions closing on January 15th of next year, the day before Season 6 and the launch of Deadpool. So we're going to know very soon who these teams are, and I actually wonder when they're going to put out these skins, if they're going to do it in the preseason of April, or if they're going to wait till the first LAN tournament in August. But in the end, whether you're clouded enough to get into the initial partner program, the ultimate goal is consistency in 2026. Because if you're top rated in the leaderboards or you're winning in these LAN tournaments, at the end of the year, you're going to have a spot to become part of the league, part of these 12 partnered teams. And that's the real payoff, being part of the growing competitive scene and being one of the league members in 2027. And who knows, they might even expand the partner program if they see enough attraction. And this is where I want to quickly discuss a few obstacles that are facing Marvel Rivals esports and esports in general, because esports as a whole has been on the decline since about 2020, since the lockdown era, and not much can be done by Marvel Rivals or NetEase themselves, but it's very important to rouse the community of this game. Strong efforts at cross-promotion into other media and giving ways for the player base to participate in these league systems like the partner program, but also maybe game types or exclusive modes or voting systems within the game. All these little things help to make the scene more sustainable. But a lot of that also falls on the orgs and the individual creators, the players themselves, to excite their audience. And that really comes down to content, whether that's through teaching, skits, memes. people are going to have to get creative to draw outsiders and casual players' eyes towards these tournaments. And there's also a responsibility for content creators not in the pro scene to increase the level of understanding for the average or beginner player. Because Marvel Rivals is no doubt a complex game, it's certainly more complex than Overwatch, which creates for a viewer barrier. And this knowledge gap only increases every season, so it really falls on the content creator side to bridge this gap, and hopefully illustrate to the casual viewer the difference between a pro player and an average player. But at the end of the day, this is a community endeavor, and I think anyone who considers themselves part of the Marvel Rivals community has to make a genuine attempt to be more positive. Because I have definitely noticed a general apathy or even negativity within the Marvel Rivals community, especially in the short form scene. It seems like the expectations that the average player has for this game are completely out of control, and people will take the smallest problem with this game and extrapolate it into a major issue, and it's already influenced the balancing of this game multiple times. Rather than all these small communities pulling this game apart at the seams, we really need to rally together and hold this game up, because in the end, it's such a diverse game. There's so many different ways to play, so many different strategies, a hero for everyone, and with crowd support, this game could last for 5 years, 10 years, who knows? The Marvel Rivals character roster is pretty much endless. But let's take this discussion down in the comments. Where do you fall on the Marvel Rivals scale? Are you a casual player, a competitive player, or are you actually involved in the esports scene? And most importantly, what could make you a viewer of Marvel Rivals tournaments? Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and maybe check out this one next to me about all the free skins currently in Marvel Rivals.